now, the Deputy Foreign Secretary and MP for Sutton Coldfield. Mr. Mitchell, I hope you can hear me. We had a few tech problems.
I can hear you.
Good man.
I can hear you very well, yes.
Right, we haven't got as much time as I thought we have. So can we just start by talking about Nadav Popplewell? This is the British Israeli who we think now has been killed by Hamas, one of the hostages. Can you tell us any more about that, Mr. Mitchell? Because the family must be in pieces. They see this video of this chap who's alive, and then Hamas seem to be now saying that he's dead.
I can't add anything to what is publicly known, but my heart goes out to the family at this extraordinary time with the barbarism of these appalling terrorists who have treated the family in such a cynical, cruel and heartless way. And we must wait for further information to become available. But what an appalling, dreadful experience for this poor family to have to suffer at the hands of this absolutely dreadful terrorist organization.
I mean, you're talking about Hamas being dreadful. It's a prescribed terrorist group. Yet at the same time, there is this sense that we're getting from David Cameron and the government that you think that Israel is being disproportionate now in its response, not least because of the incursion in Rafah. Do you think that Benjamin Netanyahu's been overplaying his hand now, Mr. Mitchell?
Well, we've made it very clear, as have our allies, the Americans, that without a plan, it would be a big mistake to launch a military attack on Rafah. And we have not yet seen that plan. But equally, we make it absolutely clear that Israel has the right to self-defense. The events that took place, the pogrom that took place on October the 7th, was a terrible, terrible deed. More Jewish people got murdered on that day than on any other day since the end of the Second World War and the Holocaust. So we are very clear that Israel has the right to self-defense, but equally that it must act within the boundaries of international humanitarian law.
Why did the UK government then abstain on that vote this week at the UN General Assembly with regard to giving the Palestinian territories the right to become a full UN member? The abstentions seem to be slightly outside of the rest of the Western world saying no to that idea.
We've been very clear that we do think that it is right to recognise Palestine as a state at the United Nations at the right time. And that doesn't have to be at the end of the process for peace. It can be as part of those negotiations. And Britain will support Palestine becoming a state at the UN when we feel the time is right. That isn't now, but it may, as I say, be before the end of the peace process, which we very much hope will come when the fighting stops and this dreadful set of circumstances, the catastrophe in Gaza, is over. There will then be a chance for people to lift their eyes to a political process. And it's worth remembering also that the great progress that was made at Oslo when we got so close to a two-state solution, that process took place on the back of the Intifada. So out of great disaster, misery, gloom and catastrophe can come political process. And Britain is in the forefront of countries trying to make sure that we are ready when that time comes to make that progress.
Quick final question, Mr. Mitchell, because we've been sadly squeezed on time. In 2022, you said that you thought the Rwanda scheme was, quotes, impractical, ineffective and extraordinarily expensive. What's changed?
What's changed is the overall expense of dealing with this problem. People coming across the channel in the hands of the modern-day equivalent of the slave trader. That last year, just the first year, cost £4 billion, just for the first year of asylum seekers in Britain. So the comments I made in 2022 about the Rwanda scheme's expense, which was my principal reason for opposing it, have been dwarfed by the overall expense of dealing with this problem. And the Rwanda scheme does have a role to play. It's not the whole part of the role. There's many other things that need to be done, which the government is now doing. And I greatly welcome that. Of course, the recent bill that went through the House of Commons was about the question of the safety of Rwanda. And I'm in no doubt at all that Rwanda is a safe country. Indeed, there's a very strong argument that Kigali, the capital city of Rwanda, is safer than London is under its Labour mayor.
OK, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed for joining me, Andrew Mitchell. Lovely to speak to you.